Alright, Shalom. Back again with another episode of Spirits. It's like the wind. This is episode 22. We're here with the brothers of GMS. Before we start this lesson, I'd like to give our praises, glory, and honor
to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, which are the elders of modern day societies of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Whether you receive it or not, and salutation to you brothers out there pushing this truth and sincerity, honesty, and the truth, alright? We're going to kick off with a scripture in Deuteronomy,
Deuteronomy 30:19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Exactly. So we gonna go into the choose ye this day life. Can we get Proverbs 3, start at 11?
This is Proverbs 3:11. It says, "My son, despise not the chastening of Yahweh, neither be weary of his correction." It says, "For whom Yahweh loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son, in whom he delighteth. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding."
And how all that went together, So it says, verse 11, "My son, despise not the chastening of Yahweh, neither be weary of his correction. For whom Yahweh loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son, in whom he delighteth." So us coming back as sons, we're going to get chastened. We gotta pass through the ride. According to Hebrews 12, is it 12? Yeah, brother, grab Hebrews 12. Can a brother grab Deuteronomy 4 and start at 5? Yeah, can you punish you by in measure? I will not leave you altogether unpunished. Oh, for sure.
Jeremiah 30.
Okay.
Start at 1 on Hebrews, for sure.
Alright. This is Hebrews chapter 12. "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily besets us, and let us run."
Right, and that's killing your members. That's mortifying your flesh. Mortifying the deeds of the flesh, I should say. Scripture says we die daily. You continually examine thyself, each and every day. It's a fight and it's a battle. And this was the topic of the sit down that we're gonna get into. Go ahead, Ro.
It says, us run, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
Let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Being balanced in this thing. Scripture says the race is not given to the swift or to the mighty. Go ahead.
"Looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High."
Thinking little of the shame. When it says despising the shame, he thought little of it, thought nothing of it, man. He endured that. So likewise, when these scoffers scoff at us, man, hey, that's nothing. Go ahead.
"For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds."
Right. And Peter tells us to arm ourselves likewise, man. Yahweh Shai suffered, so we're going to suffer. Go ahead.
Verse 4. "Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin."
Right, so we ain't resisted unto blood. Not yet. Some of us, we're really going to have to shed blood in that day. But go ahead.
"And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children, my son, despise not thou the chastening of the Most High,
What you just read in Proverbs. Go ahead.
nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
Mm-hmm.
For whom the Most High loveth, he chastiseth and scourges every son.
Exactly. So and who will he receive it? So you gotta go through the fire. You gotta go through the affliction. Because either way it goes, us as a whole, the beginning of that Deuteronomy says, I take heaven and earth to witness, man. When we all, us as a nation, said everything that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua said, we will do. So that makes all of us guilty. Every last one of us is underneath that curse, you know? So either way it goes, we're going to have to get punished regardless. Even when we come back, we gotta go through that fire. We got to go through that chastening. Go ahead, bro. You have something? Go ahead.
Verse 7. If ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons.
Yes, Rock 6.
For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not?
Right. So if the Lord deals with you as with a son, he chasten you, man. You're going to go through that fire. And that fire is, the affliction and the persecution that you're going to have to go through. And the fight that you're going to have to fight, you know, your own battle within yourself. With this flesh, man. Your number one enemy. Can you grab Wisdom of Solomon 6?
Kind of Brad, appreciate it.
Con, bro.
This is 1 Peter 4 and 1. For as much then as Hamashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourself likewise with the same mind. For he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin.
Go ahead, bro. You got it.
Okay. So I brought that scripture out because you quoted it. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to back you up with it. So, hey man, that in the same way, man, how the Lord Savior, you know, suffered, man. You gotta, you know, go through the same affliction, man.
Yeah, because the Lord told us to bear our cross.
Okay.
You know, we gotta bear the cross.
And also says the servant's not greater than, you know, than the master, man.
That's right.
Shit, if he was persecuted, so are we.
Exactly. You know.
And the world hated him, you know. Niggers hate them, so they're gonna hate us, man. So we gotta be in the same mind. You know?
Yep. And with that being said, you know, because pretty much we're going into how you're going to suffer regardless. So, well, the scripture's going to explain it better than me. So can we grab
Skip down to 12 minutes.
Okay.
Start at 11, I think.
This is 1 Peter 4 and 11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahweh. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Yahweh giveth, that Yahweh in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. You want to read it?
Yep.
Verse 12, Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange things happen unto you.
Right, fiery trial. So this great flight of affliction that we go through, it's a fiery trial, man. It's just that, man. It burns. It don't feel good, man. Like it says in Hebrews, at the present, no chastening feel good, man. But it yielded peaceable fruit, man. You know? So you got to go through hell, shit. Hey, you're made perfect through sufferings.
That's right.
As Yahweh Shai was, you know, that's how we're made perfect, man. For carrying the what's left of the cross, you know, behind. Like it says in Colossians, the first chapter. You know, I butchered it. I do the Spirit. I'm gonna grab it. You know, the Spirit want it.
I got something for you. It's Acts 14 and 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. You know. So through much tribulation, you know, it's in Timothy, which says,
What, 2 Timothy 3?
I think so.
Excuse me, 3 and 12 or
suffer.
3 and 16?
Suffer, those that live godly shall suffer.
Is it 3 and 12?
Yep. This is 2 Timothy 3 verse 12. It says, yea, and all that will live godly in Yahweh Shai shall suffer persecution.
That's right.
Just like the brother said, you know. The servant ain't greater than his Lord.
Get up. Get 4 and 12. What's that say?
2 Timothy 4 and 12. That's what you want? And Tychicus have I sent to Ephesus?
What, you just read 3 and 12, right?
Yeah.
It's another one. That's the 4th chapter.
I appreciate it.
Go ahead.
This is Psalms 34 and 19. So many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh delivers them out of them all. So like the brother was just saying, man, like you're not going to get into this, and what he's going to get to now in Esdras, you know, you're not going to get through this no other way,
2
man.
and 12.
But through tribulation and afflictions, that fiery trial, that proven ground. All right, because well, I didn't want to get the spirit of being, but we're gonna go into, you know, you're gonna suffer for this anyway, man. You might as well suffer for righteousness' sake, so you can have that chance of that hope, man. You know.
Right. The Wisdom of Solomon, was it 18:12? It tells you that the righteous and the wicked suffer together.
That's right.
So you're gonna go through this together, man. Hey, second, real quick, Bible Kashah Salaki, man. Guess it didn't work. 2 Maccabees 6. And 12. Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation.
Yep.
All right, the Lord punish whole nations, man. The wicked and righteous go through this together, man. And ultimately, even the righteous fucked up, so we all deserved it. All right? For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. For not as with other nations whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish, till they become to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us, lest that being come to the height of sin afterwards, he should take vengeance on us. All right, so the Lord, he punished us right away. When Israel go, hey, look, we went through a series of captivities, man. All right, like we was in Babylonian captivity, Assyrian Babylonian captivity. They got taken down. We went to a whole nother Persian captivity. They got taken down. Went to Greek captivity. Of course, the Greeks got swallowed up by the Romans. The same fucking people. Went to Roman captivity. Shit, and then after that, we was in the captivity to niggas. Niggas was ruling over other niggas, man. Just to get put right back in European captivity, man. All right, the Lord continually punished us. Read the book of Judges. That's our lot right now, man. To go through this hell, and in the midst of this hell, remain faithful to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's the battle. That's our portion, man. Comment finish the last verse. Lest that being come to the height of sin after, he should take vengeance of us, and therefore he never withdraw mercy from us. And though he punish us with adversity, yet doth he never forsake his people. So the whole nation get punished together. All right, so you're gonna suffer for righteousness' sake, or suffer for wickedness. I mean, it's that simple. We all gonna suffer.
That's right.
You're gonna do it while fighting and striving and serve Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, or you're gonna be a little bitch and give in, man. Give in to the flesh, hey, or faint, like it says in Sirach. It tells you he that woe to him that faint, man. Who you should have no fucking protection when that end come, man. They ain't gonna have no guard. Shit.
I'd like to get a precept real quick. 2 Maccabees 7 and 32. For we suffer because of our sins, and though the living power be angry with us a little while for our chastening and correction, yet shall he be at one again with his servants.
Yeah, kind. So there you go. We gonna suffer one way or another. We all sin. We all fucked. Bible shots.
Go ahead, bro.
Galatians the 3rd chapter, because we all fucked up.
God.
So we gonna suffer.
That's right.
So the mindset is, we willingly gonna go ahead and we're gonna suffer for our sins, you know, and remain faithful to the Lord, or just suffer being a fucking nigga. Like, it makes no sense.
And it's comforting. Because these niggas out here, hey, when we was in the world, we was catching the hell. We like, man, goddamn, like you can't catch a break. Like, what the fuck is up? These motherfuckers had no clue. It's comforting knowing that when we in fucked up situations, we know, hey, I deserve this shit, man. I fucked up, you know, in whatever situation, you know. And you praise y'all about Shem Yahushua, you know, because why? Because that's that chastening, man. He dealing with you as with a son. But go ahead, bro. Fly.
Just real quick. Galatians 3 and 10. For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse, for it is written, curses everyone that continueth not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them. But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of the Most High, it is evident, for the just shall live by faith. Alright, so that's our lot, man. Is to have faith that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua will deliver us from his condition that we in, man. Starting with the first curse, the curse of fucking living and dying, man. That's what it boils down to, getting delivered out this body of our wretchedness, man. Shit, getting a new covenant where we won't sin, so we ain't got to go back into captivity.
That's right.
Alright, but we all broke the law, we all deserve death, so we the just shall have faith in Yahweh through Yahweh Shai, that we'll be redeemed out of this, man. So we're going to take the sufferings we got to take. Being made perfect because of those sufferings. If you're still holding that 1 Peter 4, can you read the first verse again, but then read the second verse?
Oh, yeah.
What's the last one?
The 1 Peter 4.
It's all good, brother.
I was just reading off on that scripture.
It's all good.
This is First Peter's. You want to 4 and.
Yeah, read the first verse over, but then read the second verse.
Okay.
Because that goes right along with being made perfect through suffering, man.
Okay. This is First Peter's 4 and 1. For as much then as Hamashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourself likewise with the same mind. For he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of Yahweh.
And that's how you get the victory over in the battle, man. Having faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, suffering, and as you suffer, taking it patiently and hoping in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to get through it, man.
Yep.
I got some. Actually got two. This is 2 Timothy's 2 and I'll start at 3. It says, Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier for Yahushua Mashiach. No man that worrieth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Right? Because we got to endure hardness as a good soldier. Because we're warriors for the Lord. We out here swinging a sword day in, day out, which is a two-edged sword, actually, which is his word. So, you know what I'm saying, we out here prophesying, telling our people who they truly are out here in these streets, going through the elements, rain, sleet, snow, whatever. The heat, it don't even matter. We out here, that's what war is. If you look at those old war movies, you see them out there in the jungle, in the rain, going through the elements. The same thing we do. We soldiers for the Lord. So we just out here, man, enduring hardness as a good soldier, because he chose us to be soldiers. Many are called, few are chosen. So we've been called to do a job. So we out here to endure. We suffering, you know what I'm saying? So, but we suffering for our righteous cause, man. We trying to get that crown, man, that incorruptible crown. All right, not the corruptible one. And I got one more.
Can you jump to 10 and where you read it?
Jump to 10.
Mm-hmm.
2 Timothy 2 and 10. It says, Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Yahushua Mashiach with eternal glory.
Mm-hmm.
It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him.
And that's suffering, man. That's being dead to this world. Keep going, bro.
It says, if we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us.
Exactly. You know? So we suffer, man. You know? 1 Peter 4, we just read. Suffer with Yahweh Shai. But go ahead, brother. You get your other precept here.
What was you just reading that Timothy?
2 Timothy 2, and I just left off at 12.
You just read 12?
Kind of.
All right. I'll go ahead and do it. This is 1 Maccabees 3 and 59. For it is better for us to die in battle than to behold the calamities of our people and our sanctuary. Nevertheless, as the will of Yahweh is in heaven, so let him do. So it's better for us to die in battle. What battle, man? Like, some of us are going to be martyrs for this truth. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are going to be put to death. You know, some of us are going to be thrown in concentration camps. Some of us is going to not even feel anything. Some of us are not going to go through anything, man. You know what I'm saying? But we endure all things in this battle for the elect's sake, like I just read, like Scripture says. So it's better to us to die in battle than fucking do nothing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes and put the shield down, put the sword down, and went back in the world because they couldn't handle, they couldn't overcome the flesh. They couldn't overcome the lust of the flesh, man. So they just said, fuck it, I'm just going to quit. So they just quit on the Lord, man. They quit on the brotherhood. They quit on the Lord. They quit on their own salvation. They just fucking just gave up. You know what I mean? You just gave up on riches. You just gave up on the greatest thing on the whole world, man. You just gave up on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. All right? The only thing that matters in the world, really, ain't his word, which is Yahweh Shai.
And gave up on the elect. Because Paul said, I endure all things for the elect's sake. You know? Yahweh Shai said, what you do unto one of these little ones, you've done unto me. Mm-hmm. So given out here enduring these elements and enduring the affliction and continuing in this work and continuing to feed the flock and wake the brothers up, man, that's giving them cups of cold water. That's visiting Yahweh Shai when he was sick. You know, that's feeding him when he was hungry, man. So, go ahead, bro.
That's it up?
Yes.
1 Peter 3 and 17. For it is better, if the will of the Most High be so, that you suffer for well-doing than for evil-doing. And that's, it's heavy because it's going to get into this lesson, man. I mean, like the brother was saying, man, you suffered a lot of shit being a fucking nigga, man. Through all type of legal problems, through marital problems, and but now you're in the truth and you still going through some of them same things, okay? But we're doing it for righteousness' sake. Why? Because we know that we fucked up, man. Your 3 years in the truth, all right? You trying to do the work of the Lord does not, to me, acquit you for all the years without you fucking around. When you come to the truth, you still got a lot of world in you. So you might as well suffer for the righteousness of the Lord than to suffer like a nigga. Because when you suffer like those that don't have it, man, you're going to get the same punishment, man. You might as well suffer for the Lord's sake, man.
I gotta appreciate it.
Yeah, so go ahead, bro.
Alright. This is the book of Micah 7 and 9. It says, I will bear the indignation of the Lord. It says, because I have sinned against
Well, what does verse 8 say?
Verse 8, Micah 7 and 8. It says, rejoice not against me, O my enemy. It says, when I fall, I shall rise. It says, when I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me.
And that's that's us in this hell right now, man. That's part of us being in this lower state. Hey, that's the spirit keep coming up. That's us being the lowest part of the hell, man.
That's right.
At the bottom, we oppressed completely. Part of the brother looked at the word oppression earlier. Part of the oppression, it's mental too, man. We pressed on all sides. Only oppression, spiritually, physically, everything, man. They should think to wear out the saints, man. And Israel is, hey, the men Lord is, basically worn out, man.
Yeah.
Esau's the perfect devil, Slack.
No, it's like what was one of the curses in Deuteronomy that thy heaven shall be brass and thy earth shall be iron, man. You know,
Between a rock and a hard place.
ever oppressed evermore, like the brother said, man. Can never get a rest and oppressed in your sleep, man. Like they got the fucking waves and shit that fuck with sleep and these guts.
That's why people dreams be fucked up. Fucking demons and shit. You got the Wi-Fi fucks with you. You feel all that. It don't matter, man. Fuck Esau. Let's get to the scriptures.
You finished with that?
That is one more verse. Alright, this is verse 9. It says, I will bear the indignation of the Lord. It says, because I have sinned against him, and to plead my cause, and execute judgments for me. It says, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall it says, behold his righteousness. Like the brothers were saying, going out, and during those different times, you know what I'm saying? Showing what you got forth for the Lord, so he could plead your cause, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, if you're bearing the indignation, you are going through those trials, going through that fire of adversity. You know what I'm saying? That will build you up as being that strong man, that the Lord is looking for, man. That man that the Lord wants you to be, that wants to mold you in, you know what I'm saying? So, through hardness, you get molded into being that perfect entity, or that the Lord wants you to be, you know what I'm saying?
Alright, this is Sirach chapter 2, starting at verse 1. It says, My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art charged to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. So and that's showing that when we come to this truth, that we gonna go through some things. The Lord is gonna put you and try your faith when you come in this truth, and you're gonna have to take it cheerfully first and foremost, and and keep your integrity and trust in the Lord, because whether you be in the truth, you're gonna go through things, and whether you be outside the truth, you're gonna go through things. So you might as well suffer for your how by Shah. And I had another scripture. This is Hebrews 2:10. It says, For it became him for whom are all things, and by whom are all things, and bringing many sons into glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings. So that's how we gonna be made perfect in Yahushua, through sufferings. Through the sufferings that we go through, if we keep our integrity and keep our faith.
Yeah, brother, that's you.
I got a boy. You can move on.
No, brother, I'm like to win. Let him roll. Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, all right.
Go ahead, Ruth.
This is 2nd Esdras 14:14. It says, Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy upon thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. Alright, so put off the mortal thoughts, put off the worldly thoughts. Worried about so much about your job, your family, your money, all the worldly shit. cast it off. You know what I'm saying? Because if like the scriptures say, man, an unjust balance is an abomination to the Lord. If you put more of your worldly life above the truth, your spirit ain't gonna be right. Your spirit ain't gonna be on point. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be too much into the carnal shit. You're gonna be too much into your family, and you gotta understand that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is in control of life and death. Your family might get put to death. You might get put to death. Your possessions may get taken away. But you got to endure hardness as a good soldier. This truth is all about continuing and pushing. It's all about perseverance. All right. So if you want to get weak off mortal thoughts and just and let them weigh you down, the scriptures say don't let your sins weigh you down. All right. So how do you not do that? You know what I'm saying? Be around the Akim more, pray more, fast more. All right. Be in the scriptures more. You know, so you got to put off those mortal thoughts, and that's a form of weak nature. When you let your thoughts take control of you, let the demons take control of you, because you don't know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? If you go into a fight and you getting your ass beat, you know what I'm saying? It's like you know what I'm saying. The reason why you got your ass beat most likely is you know how to fucking fight. The demons are gonna attack, man. So you gotta learn how to swing that sword. Like I said earlier, man, this is a two-edged sword that we got. This is our weapon. We don't have our weapons of warfare are not carnal. All right, we ain't gonna go pick up fucking guns. We're not gonna pick up a goddamn machete and go take over Esau, because his weapon, his blessing was a sword. All right, so what we have to fight with is his word and be spiritual. All right, scriptures say, man, I don't walk by I don't walk by sight. I walk by faith. So we got to walk in our faith. We got to continue in the faith. We got to continue and push. You know what I'm saying? When you get weak, you may have to call one of your brothers, all right? And he may have the right prayer. He may have the right scripture just for you. We're supposed to uplift one another, all right? Iron sharpeneth iron, man. We're supposed to rely on one another, all right? The scriptures say, man, the brother's supposed to take on the burden of your brother, bear your brother's burden, all right? Like, this is the brotherhood, man. You know what I'm saying? When a brother's down, man, you're supposed to feel like shit. Like, man, I want him to give him the whatever you can do to heal him. You know what I'm saying? And continue. You know what I'm saying? Because he's supposed to do the same thing for you. So you put off those mortal thoughts, man. That's how you do it. Just do the brotherhood, do the spirit, and do prayer. All right, that's all I got.
I got something to back you up. This is Matthew 6:31. You can break it down, bro. It says, therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or withal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. For your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Hey, the Lord knows what we need, man. Now, he knows what we want, or he knows what we need. So don't take no thought of your clothing or anything, man. You just go. I think if Yohanan said, he said something like, man, you gotta have that go mentality to just go through whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord knows exactly what we need, man. You know what I'm saying? If you thinking that you're gonna rely on, Scripture say, man, I think it's Proverbs 3, don't rely on your own strength or rely on your own understanding. That's what it is. If you're not taking into account that the Lord is going to take care of you, you're relying on your own understanding. All right. You don't want to use this world as a crutch. You want to rely on everything according to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, according to His word. All right. So you're supposed to doing that is seeking the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Like Scripture say, man. You know what I'm saying? You seek the kingdom by seeking the Lord, seeking the things that please the Lord. All right.
Scripture back you up. Is Colossians 3:1. If ye then be risen with Hamashiach, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sits on the right hand of Yahweh. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in Yahweh.
Which goes to choose ye this day life or death. Seek ye life, man. All right, the things that's above, man. That's why life is at. That's why life is hidden. With Yahweh Shai, man. So that's what we looking forward to. That's what we hoping to, man. All right, the one that can deliver from the body it is death. All right, 1 Corinthians 15, this corruptible got to put on corruption.
Verse 4. When Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory.
There you go. Yahushua is our life, man. That's when we'll be living. That's when shit'll be on point, man.
That's right. Ezekiel 37 chapter. You know.
Also, that's when them tears be taken away too, man. Until then, we just fucked up. That's why we need Yahushua, man.
It says we should appear on that glory. I got a precept to back that up. Is Revelations 2:26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I receive of my Father. So, hey man, we come with that glory, hey, we're going to be kings of this world, man, of these galaxies, you know. Picture that, man. You know, it's a beautiful picture, man. Hey, something that is, I be thinking about it, man. It's hard to believe, man. Shit, you know, just being, you know, up there, you know, going to different galaxies, man. Discover things that we haven't even seen.
I have to appreciate, because before we get to that, this is what we're going to have to go to. This is 2 Timothy 3:12. Yea, and all that will live godly in Yahushua Mashiach shall suffer persecution. So talk, because like we keep reiterating, man, y'all go through a great deal. He said, broad is the way, you know. So you trying to go walk that narrow path, man, you know. That narrow path, you're going to have to suffer this persecution to get to that kingdom and get on them chairs like the brother talking about.
Yeah, praise God. This is Romans 8:18. It says, for I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. So like the brother Aliyah was talking about, you know, all these different galaxies, you know, ruling all these, being over all these nations, you know, and all having all this, you know, luxurious, just, you know, the best of the best in the kingdom, you know. That is something that's like just beautiful, you know, when you think about it. But you know, the suffering that we're gonna have to go through, and the suffering that we're going through now, we might as well just take it cheerfully, you know, and just endure, because the suffering that we're gonna go through and at this present time it's gonna feel like a piece of cake once we that glory get revealed in us, you know.
Can you jump back to the 2 Timothy you were doing, bro?
2 Timothy 3:13. It says, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them.
Right, so it says, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. So don't worry about these niggas who going a wayward way, man. They gonna get worse and worse, right? But it said do what? But continue down.
In the things which you have learned and been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Yahushua Mashiach.
Through faith which is in Yahushua, go ahead.
All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
Right. For read them again, Bible Shah.
And is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
Right. For in reproof, correction, you know, so to get you right. Nate, go ahead.
That the man of the Most High may be perfect thoroughly furnished unto all good works.
Thoroughly furnished unto all good works. So we got to go through that fire in order to be perfected. Like the Hebrews, the 2nd chapter, like Yahushua was perfected through his sufferings. So can we jump back to that Proverbs 3? We had just read verse 12. That's where we had left off at. Is somebody still holding that Deuteronomy 4, verse 5?
Can I go to Jeremiah 30?
This
Yes, sir.
Proverbs 10:12. It says, for whom Yahweh loveth, he correcteth.
Exactly. All scripture is given for reproof, correction, you know, and for doctrine and teachings. Right? That's correcting. Go ahead.
It says, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth.
Mm-hmm.
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom.
That findeth wisdom. What is this wisdom? These scriptures, man. Being able to understand it. Having that Holy Spirit. Having Yahweh Shai, man. Because that's what Yahweh Shai is. He is wisdom. You know, he is the understanding. You know, through him. Go ahead.
And the man that getteth understanding.
Go ahead.
For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold.
Mm-hmm.
She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her.
Mm-hmm.
The length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her.
Exactly. Happy is everyone that retaineth her. This wisdom is these scriptures. Can the brother get Deuteronomy 4 and 5?
This is the book of Deuteronomy 4, chapter 4, verse 5. It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me. It says that ye shall do so in the land, it says, whither ye go to possess it. It says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation.
Right. Which is these scriptures, man. During that time, it was talking about the law, statutes, commandments. But now, as lo, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me. This whole book is a law, statutes, and commandments. You know? It's just said all scripture is given through inspiration of the Most High for doctrine, which is teachings, and reproof and corrections, man. So to get you perfected. Through what? Can we get that wisdom of Solomon?
God, I have
Finish this, okay.
Whatever.
This is which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is wise and understanding people.
That's what they're supposed to say, right? But that's what they're going to say again, you know?
Well, shit, niggas don't keep the law no more.
Yeah.
They said these days, there's an article came out, you know, it said, did the Bible have it right? And the article was about the fish with scales and fins. They were saying how the other fish, seafood, high in mercury and shit, they always proving that the Bible's right, that this is true wisdom. All the time it comes out, man. But niggas don't keep the laws.
God. Let me read out that wisdom of
Mm-hmm.
Solomon. 6. This is wisdom of Solomon 6 and 15. It says, to think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom.
And to her is the wisdom that we speaking of, which is these scriptures. Go ahead.
It says, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care.
Mm-hmm.
It says, for she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorable unto them.
And that's John 15:16. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you. You know? What?
It says she with herself favorable unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought.
And meeteth them in every thought. You know? Looking through these scriptures as frontlets, as glasses. Seeing every situation through these scriptures to the best of your ability, you know?
Scripture talk about the scriptures and wisdom being a lamp unto your feet, so we'll show you the path.
That's right.
All right. So that's the like the brother was saying earlier, wisdom is the principal thing. With all that getting, you get what? An understanding. When the wisdom's gonna give you understanding.
It says, For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline and the care.
And it's the desire of discipline. That reproof, man. Once you get reproof, now you continue to cut those things off, man. You know? Go ahead.
And the care of discipline is love.
Mm-hmm.
And love is the keeping of her laws.
Right. And what, 1 John 5:3, you know, this is love. And it's all the laws, man, you know. I mean, the laws of the scriptures. The first law Yahweh Shah said was what, man? That you love Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shah with all thy heart, spirit, soul, might, you know, and love thy brother as thyself. On these two hang all the commandments, man. And through faith in Yahweh Shah. So through faith in Yahweh Shah, man, we show love unto each other as if these brothers were Yahweh Shah sitting right here with me, man. And that's faith that we believe that, man.
I got to preach it real quick. This is Sirach 4:17. All right, because he's talking about wisdom, and this is also what she does. It said, for at first you will walk with him by crooked ways and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. You know, and that's the whole thing, man. When you trying to seek the truth, you got to know that you're going to suffer this affliction, this persecution, knowing that she's going to try you, man. I mean, brother, I've seen brothers personally been tried, freshly in the truth, man. Some things, if you was in the word, you probably wouldn't want to go grab your gun for it. You know? And brothers endured, man. They're suffering out here, man. True men of the Lord are suffering, man. Why? Because they're being led by wisdom, man. Go ahead, Salaki, brother.
Yeah, it's all good. Herbal.
And it says, for the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love, and love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption makes
It's the assurance of incorruption. You're looking for that incorruptible crown, right? Go ahead.
It says, and incorruption maketh us near unto God. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom.
The desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. We read Matthew 6. Desire the kingdom of heaven. Seek ye the kingdom of heaven. You know, first. You know, desire these scriptures, this wisdom, this understanding. Go ahead.
It says, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, it says, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. As for wisdom, what she is.
No, that was it. That you may reign forevermore. You hit that John for me, brother Bapusha?
Yeah, this is St. John 6:63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profited nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
And these words is the life, man. That's choose ye this day life. That's this. Choose Yahweh Shah. I see you out, brother. Go ahead.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 15. For righteousness is immortal.
And Yahweh Shah is our righteousness, man.
But the laws, you know, having faith in Yahweh Shah, you know, that's righteousness, man. That's immortality, man. Keeping these books according to faith. I just says the desire of wisdom is Salakia. What little Yaakov read in the Wisdom of Solomon 16, it was a list of things. All right, but it said the love and keeping the laws, man, keeps from corruption. That's righteousness, man. All right, and the laws tell you to have faith in Yahweh Shai, so that don't mean, you know, bug out, you know, become a Pharisee, you know, all that. But no, man, keeping this book with faith, that's immortality, man. That's leads to the tree of life, like the brother read in Proverbs 3. This wisdom, man. That's righteousness. That's how you prolong your days, which is immortality, man. That's choosing life. Strive for the truth. Let's get it, bro. I got to get to it though. Go ahead, whoever got something.
If not, Brother grab 2nd Ezra 7. But if you got a precept, brother, do it.
This is oh, go ahead.
This is Job 5:17. It says, "Behold, happy is the man whom the Most High corrected. Therefore despise not thou the chastising of the Almighty." You know? And Job is a perfect example. You know? He lost everything. You know, he even got tempted. Hey, actually, I'm just trying to read it. This is, because even his wife started saying curse the Most High, but he refused. You know, everything he went through, man. He had boils from his crown, from his head to his feet, man. And he still said, "Call on me, I'm about to send me outside." And this is Job 2. And let me start it. Let me start now. It says, "Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thy integrity? Curse the Most High and die." But he said unto her, "Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High? And shall we not receive evil?" You know? So we're going to receive good and evil in this truth, man. But we actually deserve more evil than good. And all this did not Job sin with his lips. You know? I got another precept real quick, so I can. This is James chapter 1 verse 12. "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried," you know, just like Job, he was tried, he endured temptation, "he shall receive the crown of life, which the Most High has promised to them that love him." You know? And then he received, Job received double, what? He received like 10, sevenfold.
I got it right there.
And it says, the Most High, who has promised to them that love him. You know, how do you love the Most High, man? It says in 1 John, you know. Actually, let me get it.
Let me read the precept right
Go ahead,
quick.
Slock it.
James 5:11. "Behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of Yahweh, that Yahweh was very pitiful and of tender mercy." When you say you saw the end of it, you saw when the Most High restored everything back into Job, man. Because Job endured, man. That was a tender mercy.
I think it was like double or something like that.
Wow.
And this is for you niggas that say you love the Most High, you know, you believe in the Most High, you know, but don't follow the Most High. This is Job, Slocking. 1 John 2, 3. It says, "And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar. And the truth is not in him. But whoso keepeth his word in him, verily is the love of the Most High perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him." You know? And that's how you show the Most High you love him, man. Keeping his commandments. You know? And that's exactly what Job did, man. And that's a perfect example to follow, man. You know? That's all I got.
Yeah, precept, bro.
Yeah, kind of. This is Sirach 19 and 18. It says, "The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love. And the brother just explained to you what the love was. It says, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law. And the knowledge of his omnipotency, which is the equality of having unlimited or very great power. So that's all in Yahweh.
He is.
So that is, it says the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. So you have to follow the law, statutes, commandments, of course, but there is a doctrine that goes with that. All right? There is a way you teach. There is a way you're instructing this truth. You know, there are men set up to teach men, and there's a certain way, certain breakdowns of these scriptures that have to be broken down the correct way. All right?
Proper interpretation.
Kind of. You know what I'm saying? But that's all goes with the wisdom. You know what I'm saying?
That was it.
Yeah, that was
I
you know what? I'll keep reading. Yeah, verse 21. If a servant say to his master, I will not do as it pleases thee, though afterwards he do it, he angereth him that nourishes him. The knowledge of the wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. All right. It says, there is a wickedness and the same an abomination, and there is a fool wanting in wisdom. So basically, you know what I'm saying, there's no, the knowledge of wickedness is not in wisdom. So, you know what I'm saying, Lord, you can't serve two masters, man. You know what I'm saying, basically. You know, you can't be out here being a nigga and trying to be an Israelite. Like brothers be saying, you can't be a Saturday Israelite, you know what I'm saying? You can't be halfway in, halfway out. You gotta be all the way in and all the way going full throttle in His truth, you know what I'm saying, for the Lord.
3:24.
24? 19 and 24. Verse 24, it says, he that has small understanding and feareth Yahweh is better than one that has much wisdom and transgresses the law of the Most High Yahweh.
You can know you're an Israelite, man. You can know the law, statutes, commandments, but if you ain't applying them, you know what I'm saying? It's all part of it, you know? It's better for you to fear the Lord, man. The fearing of the Lord is wisdom, man. Get a scripture, it's like, he that keepeth the law of the Lord getteth the understanding thereof.
Cut it out.
Oh, Salak. This is Sirach, chapter 21, verse 11. He that keepeth the law of the Lord getteth the understanding thereof, and the perfection of the fear of the Lord is wisdom. It's fearing the Lord, man. It's, you know, by keeping is that wisdom is by keeping the commandment.
I got a precept. This is Psalms 19 and 7. The law of Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple. Which that will be us. You know, the scriptures say, I'll make foolish things to confound the wise. You know, and that'll be us, you know, because we're foolish. Everybody looks at us as fools.
Yep.
That's why when they go up to us, you know, first thing they are just some niggas with Bibles. You know?
That's how they call us the Power Rangers.
Yeah, motherfucker, I remember that.
Proverbs, the first chapter, it says to give subtlety unto the simple. You know, if you take heed unto the wisdom that's being taught. Proverbs, first chapter. Well, go ahead, bro.
This is verse 8. The statutes of Yahweh are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of Yahweh is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of Yahweh is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of Yahweh are true and righteous altogether. Verse 10. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. You know, I'm not sure, I'm going to roughly paraphrase it, but it's gain wisdom, and with that you'll be able to rule things in Sirach.
Yeah, brother read it.
Yeah, wisdom brings to a kingdom. The desire of wisdom. And desire of what, man? Hey, Yahweh Shai, man. Because he is all that the brother just read, man. But if nobody ain't got nothing else, we can get 2nd Ezra 7. You say you had something, bro? Go ahead, bring it up.
All right, well, this is pretty like the win series, if you insist. All right, this really, popped up. It's two of them from when the brother was reading about Job's latter end, which Job represents Israel ultimately, all of us, the condition, what we have to go through. Which Job got rebuked, for wanting to seem, basically like he was righteous, man. All right, so we all deserve the shit we go through. And Job was called righteous by the Lord, and he deserved the shit he went through. That was judgment from the Most High. So ain't nobody fucking innocent. When you go through hell, you gotta fucking take it, man. Even Yahweh Shai said there's one good, man. Yahweh.
That's right.
All right, so Yahweh Shai even earned his judgment, man. As hard as the saying that was for me to just fucking say it. But he deserved it. And we deserve it. Yeah, we deserve everything we get and more, like as the scripture said. This is Haggai 2, but this is the story. This is Haggai 2:9. The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former. Okay, first, the Spirit do one. I'm gonna get this Colossians 1. Lock it, brothers. At least I flipped to it fast. This Colossians 1:24. Who now rejoice in my sufferings for you, and fill up that which is behind of the afflictions of Mashiach in my flesh, for his body's sake, which is the church. All right? In John 2:17-19, the Lord, our Lord tells us he was going to destroy that temple, man, which was that physical temple, because what happened after he died? The curses came on us, so Rome came and fucked us over. All right, but also he himself, which is the temple, was put to death, and us being a temple is fucked up right now, man. We're suffering. All right, but Haggai 2:9, the glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former, saith the Yahweh of hosts. And in this place will I give peace, saith the Yahweh of hosts. So that's as Job's latter end was increased. So as Yahweh Shai, the main house, the main temple, he is the temple. His latter end was better. All right, he's in the heavens at the right hand of Yahweh right now. So shall this latter end be better. So we got to take our afflictions, man. All right, this is Psalms 27. I'm gonna start at verse 11. I'm going to start at 9. 8. All right, this is Psalms 27:8. When thou sayest, seek ye my face, my heart said unto thee, thy face, O Yahweh, will I seek. Hide not thy face far from me, put not thy servant away in anger. Thou hast been my help. Leave me not, neither forsake me, O power of my salvation. All right, when my father and my mother forsake me, then Yahweh will take me up. All right, so we've been forsaken, man. We're under the curses, man. All right, but guess what? It said Yahweh will take us up. He sent Yahweh Shai to be a salvation for us. He became a curse to deliver us from the curse. All right. So we going through our hell here, man. Yes, we are the children of Yahweh, man. Though Abraham be ignorant of us, man. We under them curses, but we will be delivered, man. All right, this is verse 11. Teach, which is the point in verse 8, man. The just shall live by faith. All right, when we had the good with the Lord, we believed on him. And we going through the bad, we believing on him, man. All right, verse 11. Teach me thy way, O Yahweh, and lead me in a plain path because of mine enemies. Deliver me not over unto the will of my enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. Start on Esau on down to these wicked ass teachers in Israel. That's these scoffers and scorners, man. All right. I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of Yahweh in the land of the living. All right. So hey, look, man, there is a salvation, man. And we ain't talking no Christian bullshit. Oh, you're gonna be in the heavens, so we don't want to go to burning hell. No, man. The Lord's gonna bring His salvation to this place. Though everybody else is gonna see it. Everybody, so motherfucker gotta wait to die to see it and believe it. All right, we're gonna see it in the land of the living. Wait, Slacky.
No, I was gonna say so far beyond what they look for. You know, was Psalm the 5th chapter. It's like
No. Wait on Yahweh. Be of good. Wait on Yahweh. By Hashem Yahweh Shai. Be of good courage, and He shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on Yahweh. All right. We gotta endure through what the fuck is coming, man. Why does the sinner complain, man? Shit. Lamentations, what is it? Lamentations 2nd chapter? We gotta go through fucking shit here, man, and you gotta keep serving Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. That's what the fuck it is. And also may Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai keep the spirit on us to endure. Cause ain't no room for pride in this thing, man. We all wretched. That's the whole purpose of us having to seek Yahweh Shai anyway. Because this flesh is wretched. Enter into this light helps you see that. It makes you see that.
grab 2nd Ezra 7.
My bad, start at the top. This is 2nd Ezra 7, verse 1. It says, "And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the night afore. And he said unto me, Up, Esdras, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my God. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the entrance where narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad?"
Right, so it's giving a parable. You know, and you can just picture it. How can you get into the wide and great sea without going through this narrow river? You know? Whatever.
It says, "There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?"
Right, so if you don't go through, we get Matthew 7:13. If you don't go through the dangerous place to fall, if you don't go straight through that one and only path, John 10, you got to go through the sheepfold, man. You know, it's only one way. So it said, and only one path between them, and the fire and the water on either hand, man. we get that, Matthew?
Matthew 7:13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way.
Right, so it says, enter ye in at the straight gate. You know, the gate that's difficult to enter into, man. You know, the position of difficulty. That's what that word straight means. You know, the word Matazarium, Egypt, means double straight, double bondage, man. Double fucking hell, pretty much. Go ahead.
It says,
And it said, wide is the gate that doeth what?
It says, wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
That leadeth to destruction. Go ahead.
And many there be which go in thereat.
And many there be which go thereat. You know, so in Deuteronomy 30 we read, it said, choose ye this day life. So this what you choose. You know? Because if you ain't choosing that, then guess what you choosing? The opposite, which obviously what is death. Go ahead.
So because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
Exactly. You know? His brother quoted it earlier, many are called, but only few are chosen, those few. You know? So that's why you give diligence to make thy calling and election sure. That word election goes back to being chosen. So those few that's chosen are going to be diligent. So pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua that he, like the brother said, keep the spirit upon us and continue allow us to continually be diligent, you know, and keep the faith. But go ahead. Back in 2nd Ezra.
Okay. It says, this is Salakia.
The last part of 9, it says, how shall he receive this inheritance if you don't suffer through these things? You know? Good time for that Jeremiah. What was it, Jeremiah?
Oh, 30 and 11.
30 and 11.
Jeremiah 30 and 11. For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee. But I will correct thee in measure, and I will not leave thee altogether unpunished.
Right, man. So the elect on what? Hey, we got to go through our punishment too. And in 2/3, guess what? You counted as heathens. Because you know what the brother read earlier in the Maccabees. You know, the Lord forbearing to punish you niggas, man. That's why 2/3 of you niggas, a lot of you niggas gonna die in these judgments that's coming up, man. And the ultimate judgment, which is that it meant for the heathens, you niggas gonna take part in it, which is the second death, which is the ICBM nuclear destruction.
Sure. The camera charger.
Go ahead, bro. Back in 2nd Ezra. Was you reading it?
Yeah. Okay.
Verse 10.
Go ahead, exactly.
If you got it, bro.
2nd Ezra 7 and 10. And I said, it is so, Yahweh. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
Even so also is Israel's portion. So if we gonna take that inheritance, that's our portion that we gotta go through, man. Go ahead.
It says, because for their sakes I made the world.
Right, which is plenty of scriptures to prove the Lord made for the world, for pretty much the elect's sake, man, for the Israel's sake. But go ahead.
And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now was done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrance of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immoral fruit. If then they labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them.
Yeah, right. If you don't labor, you know, to enter those straight, difficult, and vain things, you can't receive the things that's laid up. So, go ahead, bro.
This is Genesis 3:17. And to Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it, curses the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Which sorrow means toil. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. You know, that's going through that bitter. Okay? In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return to the ground. Alright, that's going through hell and torments, man. Being the fucking servant, being in them straits. Alright? For out of it was thou taken, for thus thou art, and unto the dust shalt thou return, man. But the point, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, man. Hey, you gotta go through that hell, man, to get this thing, because the entrance is made narrow. And that was the curse put on us right there.
It says, because for the earth's sakes I made the world, where Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now was done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and short, and brought immortal fruit.
Right, so the brother just read the Genesis. Go ahead.
If then they that live labor not enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. Now therefore, why disquietest thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man? And why hast thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Then answered I and said, O Yahweh, that bears rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should not inherit these things.
That the righteous should.
It's like that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the ungodly shall perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things, and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide.
And that's the point. So it says, nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things. So we still gonna go through it. We all under the curse. As we read earlier, we all is guilty. Right? It says the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for the wide. And we gonna hope, man, for that salvation through Yahweh Shah. You know? Now can you jump to verse 48?
Second Ezra 7:48. O thou Adam, what hast thou done? For though it was thou that sinned, thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come of thee. For a prophet,
Brother just read the Genesis, but go ahead.
for what profit is it unto us that there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death?
Right, us being in his flesh, man. Go ahead.
And that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves, being most wicked, are made vain.
Right. Keep going.
And that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we have lived wickedly.
Right. So it's just like all this is promised, but then how we gonna get it? Because we fucked up. We all fucked up. Go ahead.
And that the glory of the Most High is kept to defend them which have led a weary life, whereas we have walked in the most wicked ways of all.
Right. Go ahead.
And that there should be showed a paradise whose fruit endure forever, wherein is security and medicine, since we shall not enter into it.
Right. How we gonna get into that, man? All of us fucked up. Go ahead.
For we have walked in unpleasant places, and that the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness.
Right. And when it says abstinence, it's speaking about sticking to one doctrine. Staying with Yahweh by Sham Yahweh Shah, according to Revelation of 14th chapter.
14 and 4.
You know, says they were virgins, man. But go ahead, brother.
For while we have
that chaste version being presented to Yahweh Shah. But go ahead, brother.
For we have lived and committed iniquity, we consider not that we shall begin to suffer for it after death.
Right, which clearly tells you about reincarnation. But go ahead.
Then answered he me and said, This is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight.
This is the condition of the battle. Can a brother get 1 Corinthians 9? Start like at 25.
And then Job also said, a man born of a woman should be of a few days. So if you're born into this matrix, man, by the time you're born, you're not going to escape them curses. It's going to be onto you, man. That's why he said, they'll cleave up to you. You know, I mean, there's no way out of this shit.
Right, which is the only way out is Yahweh Shai. I gotta read this, which is that life, because Esdras clearly understood reincarnation. He understood that as long as we commit iniquity, you know, we would never get out of this cycle.
Exactly.
Which goes to this is Romans 7 at the end, man. Because in the second Esdras 7, I just read the verse. 49. For what profit is it unto us if there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death? So you're like, shit, we seeing, how am I going to get to this immortal place? How are we going to get out this cycle of living and dying? All right, because the fullness of Yahweh Shai wasn't here yet, so he didn't understand. But now we got the understanding, you know, this is the life. Yahweh Shai said he is the life, man. He is the way. You don't get the what's that, John 10? I am the way, the
John
life.
14:6.
Okay, come. This is Romans 7 and 22. For I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man, but I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin which is in my members. Talking about this flesh, which as this second edge is going to go into, man. The condition of the battle, man. Being spiritual men, holy men, trapped in flesh. So our inward man, our mind, our spirit, we got faith in how about Shemal Shai. We desire to keep the law, man. Hell, we even put our flesh in subjection to keep the law, man. All right? But the flesh is the flesh. We're trapped in it. It's prison. So the flesh goes off. The flesh instinctively have bugged out thoughts because it wants to do its thing. So you got to deal with that, man. All right? That's the works of death. Shit. Verse 24. O wretched man that I am. So part of they being in this light, man, you really realize how fucking wretched you are, man. All right? You really, and if you don't realize how fucking wretched you are, that's a problem. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? All right, because we have done the works of death, man, which, shit, technically we should still, after we pass, if we was to die on this side, come back and have to live again, I'm fucked up all over again. But the water, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he provided us a way out this shit. He gave us the new covenant, which is Yahweh Shai, man. And him shedding his blood. All right, he said it's the blood of the new covenant, which means we got to live that sacrifice as well, man. Understanding that we wretched, you got to understand you got to go through shit. I thank Yahweh through Yahweh Shai Mashiach our Lord. So then with the mind I myself serve the law of Yahweh, but with the flesh the law of sin. You know, so we live after the spirit, man. And take as many spiritual battle victories we can get over the flesh, man. Because it's a constant battle, man. And if you really fucking sit and think, you'll be surprised how often you fucking lose those battles. That's why King David prayed for his secret sins, man. His hidden sins, man. You'll be surprised how many of them battles you lose.
All right, bro. This is verse
Second Ezra, what,
757.
55.
55. I'm sorry, 55 again.
No, we're 57.
Second Ezra 7 and 57. Then answered he me and said, This is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight.
And that's the battle. That's that fight. You know?
That you hardly win. That's why we always constantly taking losses, man. You know, because it's fucked up. Says that 58. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say.
Right. If you get the victory, because it says that if he be overcome, if what? You know? If you let that flesh overcome you, you shall suffer as thou hast said, man. You're going to die that death. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say, that immortality, man. That everlasting life. And how do you get that victory? Through your faith in Yahweh Shai, man. Can we get that Corinthians, bro?
Oh, 1 Corinthians 15?
You grabbed that, but I had, yeah. Nah.
Oh, so like it.
You can grab that, whatever you was thinking of.
This is 1 Corinthians 9 and 25. It says, and every man that strives for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible crown. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air.
Right, man. Don't know what you fighting for. Don't know what you out here doing. You know, you count the cost, man. You know, hey, everything is laid out right there, man. Know what to expect out of this, man. When you come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. You know? And when shit crack, man, hey, you might have to get put to death. You might have to suffer certain things. Like the brother said, it might be in the concentration camp. You know? But shit, go ahead, bro.
It says, but I keep my body, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection.
Right. And when you go into that word keep, in the Greek, it speaks about beat up, man, that fight, you know, to beat black and blue. That's that battle, you know. Go ahead. Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Right. You know. So you telling other people to, you know, to do this and that, but you yourself ain't doing it. You gotta check yourself first before you can even speak to anybody else. You know? Back in 2nd Esdras.
Verse 58. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as I have said. If he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life, that thou mayest live.
Exactly. Choose ye life, that thou mayest live. That this is the life that thou mayest live. What is that life? This is St. John 14 and 6. Yahweh Shai saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So choosing Yahweh Shai is that life, man. Is that way, that path, the tree of life. You know? Go back, bro.
Scripture real quick.
No, go ahead, bro.
This is Romans 6 and 8. It says, now if we be dead with Hamashiach, we believe that we shall also live with him. You know, just like the brother said, we gotta be dead. Pretty much we gotta be dead to this world, man. You know, the scripture says, he that loses his life shall save his life. You know, he that save his life on this shall lose his life. You know. So,
But that's it. That's okay.
That's straight.
Good?
Mm-hmm. Your brothers holding anything?
What verse you did for 2nd Esdras?
58.
You ready for 59?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Con. Okay.
So with that, man, hey, we hope this was edifying, you know. So we like to give all honor, glory, and praise
To Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to all you brothers, you Achim, you hopeful elect, who's preaching the gospel in truth and in sincerity and charity, you know, who's rightly dividing the word of truth directly and correctly. Salutations, blessings to you brothers. Shalom.
Shalom.